We spend our lives building secure spaces, surrounding ourselves with locks, thick walls, and bright lights to keep the outside world at bay. But once a room is shrouded in darkness and we are isolated, that shelter becomes a fragile cage. Consider a family vacation at a resort in Turkey. A 10-year-old and his 2 friends are left alone in their hotel room while their parents eat downstairs. It's 1 a.m, they are watching TV, and the room feels secure. Then a sudden knock at the door breaks the silence. A voice on the other side asks the children to open up. When they refuse, the polite act drops. The sound of a cloned keycard clicking into the lock echoes through the room. A stalker has bypassed the hotel's primary security, turning their sanctuary into a trap. The boys panic and sprint into the bathroom, locking the door behind them. They are entirely defenseless, huddled in the dark and relying on a borrowed cell phone to call for help, hoping the flimsy bathroom door is enough to stall the predator. We often assume that an open, community space offers more safety than a closed room, but even a neighborhood park becomes hostile when the sun goes down. A teenager running to fetch his younger brother from a local playground arrives to find the space completely empty and submerged in shadow. A muffled noise echoes from the left. He turns toward a large fence just in time to see a tall figure dragging his younger brother down a pitch-black alleyway. Reclaiming the child required immediate physical violence. The teenager charged full speed into the alley, slamming his body weight into the kidnapper, to knock him off his feet and force him to drop the boy. Human predators rely on isolation and darkness. They are still bound by the laws of biology. They can be locked out, outrun, or physically overpowered. But the nature of the threat changes when the thing hunting you in the dark isn't constrained by physical laws. Imagine walking alone down a narrow, unpaved road, surrounded by rice fields and forest. There are no streetlights, and you are miles away from help, delivering a spare tire to your uncle whose car is stranded in the distance. When starved of visual data, the brain organizes random shadows into logical shapes, sensory misinterpretation. You see a dark mass and assume it will resolve into a tree. But as you get closer, the shape remains and begins to move. You find an old woman with white hair and pure white eyes, staring blankly at the fields. As she turns toward you, the logic of the world breaks. She isn't sitting down. She has no lower body. She is just a head and a torso, propped up from the dirt on 2 skeletal arms. The terror of this encounter lies in the breakdown of reality. When a threat defies biology and physics, you lose the ability to trust your own senses, and your standard survival instincts become useless. Within the supposed safety of a home, the physics of objects can suddenly warp. A framed photograph can fly horizontally off a wall, impacting a table with enough force to shatter tiles and break the wood. Prying up the boards on a standard deck might reveal a hidden room dug directly into the earth, a subterranean cavern with no supports, containing nothing but a single old cemetery headstone. The house isn't just a building, it sits atop a literal grave. The ultimate violation of the home happens in the bedroom. Lying in the dark, you hear quiet footsteps approach the mattress. Then 2 heavy, invisible hands press flat against your back, pinning you into the bed. Against the hotel stalker, a locked door was a barrier. Against a phantom, the architecture of the house is irrelevant. There is no way to barricade a room against an entity that is already inside the perimeter. The family in this house realized the structure no longer belonged to them. They fled immediately, leaving the building behind because the threat was woven into the walls themselves. Paranormal threats destroy the very concept of safety. You cannot secure a perimeter against a force that does not recognize physical boundaries. We find comfort in crowds and celebration. On a snowy Christmas Eve, a bustling street filled with carolers and shoppers feels like the safest place on earth. The lights are bright and the population is high. But even here, violence is instant. A speeding truck rushes through the snow, missing you by inches. You are knocked to the ground only to be helped up by a man dressed as Santa Claus. He hands you a beautifully wrapped gold gift. You head home, believing you've survived a near-death experience, and fall asleep with a sense of immense relief. The next morning, you open the gift. Inside is a formal certificate dated the night before, with your name printed on it. It is a death certificate. You look into the mirror and find no reflection. The man who saved you arrives at your door, shedding his disguise to reveal the Grim Reaper. He didn't save you from the truck. He was simply waiting for you to realize the accident was fatal. This represents a total loss of agency. In every other scenario, victims could fight. They could hide or they could flee. But when your reflection vanishes and your name is already on the certificate, you realize the struggle ended before you even knew